What's up, y'all? This your boy P, and you are now watching Life Untold. I appreciate y'all coming back. I want to thank everybody dearly for all the love and support that we got on the first episode. Shout out to Kill Crew. They got your boy covered on the hoodie. I appreciate it very much. Shout out to them. Go shop with them. Look them up online. Kill Crew. Hoodie is amazing. We're going to be getting into it today. It's just me today, solo dolo. I had to come in here and get some stuff off my chest, man. And the first thing we're going to talk about this 30-day challenge, man. Your boy embarked on a crazy journey over the last 30 days. A couple days before Mother's Day, I decided I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I ain't going to lie. I was kind of like, I need to get back right. Eyes was sticking out a little bit. Stomach was sticking a little bit too far out. And ultimately, man, I knew I hadn't been hitting the gym the way that I wanted to. The way that I know I had been doing my entire life since, the age of 17. Or even before 17. I think it was more or less, I've been working out my entire life. But at the age of 17, I got held to a standard. I know for sure that I wasn't doing exactly what I should have been doing. I took this challenge where you couldn't have any sweets, any sugars, any sodas, any fried foods. You couldn't have any, alcohol, anything that was negative. They say if it was white, it wasn't right. So no white rice, no white bread, no nothing. So for 30 days, you had to do that. You had to drink a gallon of water. You had to work out at least one time for 1 hour a day for 30 days. And when I tell you, since leaving the military, this is the hardest thing I did. Man, I don't encourage anyone to do this unless they are ready to be going through, hell. I'm gonna be real. It was hell in a cell, man. It was like Kane and Undertaker in the ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin come out with the Brahma Bull Rock come out. I'm telling you, it was hard because I didn't realize how much stuff that I ate that had a lot of sugar in it. So when I'm talking about, like, for instance, my coffee, one of my buddies, he schooled me up. He's a dietitian. He was like, yo, man, you fast all night. And then as soon as you wake up in the morning, you go and get a cup of coffee, and then you put 4 spoons of sugar in it, and then you just clogging your body back up. So you got to cut the sugar out. Now, I didn't realize that. I thought I was going to keep drinking a coffee at least, and then cut out all the other sugar. So as an alternative, I ended up using honey. You can use any natural sugar. So you can use fruit, you can use honey, you can use, that's it, really. I mean, that's it. Converting, and I'll drink my coffee black with sugar. So for this 30 days, I was doing coffee with honey. And when I tell you it tasted so different, the first day I tried to drink black coffee by itself, it was terrible, man. I was like out of it. I felt like I was tweaked out. I was having like sugar withdrawals, man. And next thing you know, I ended up starting to use the honey. The honey was terrible, but it made the coffee tolerable. But as we continue, man, it was like everything else was like the food. I couldn't eat any, like I said, the fried food, man. I was missing out on like Slim Chickens, Chick-fil-A. Really couldn't eat nothing, man. The wifey was real supportive. She was making stuff like sweet potatoes. I hate sweet potatoes, but she was cooking them in different ways. So she was frying them. She was putting them in the air fry. She was cutting them up in squares. She was baking them. And, you get hungry enough, you're going to eat it, And that gallon of water a day, man, that was serious work, bro. Like, I never drank so much water in my life. I probably at boot camp, but other than that, I had never drank so much water a day in my life. So I was like, I had got a big gallon of water, and I was like marking it off every day. We'll say some days I didn't drink all the water, but I was drinking a lot of water. I think that's the one thing that I probably fell down from. Gallon of water a day. I think my day was so busy I couldn't even drink that much because I'd be at work. But yeah, man, I was at 204. And then by the time I finished it, I was at 185, 186. It was fluctuating back and forth. But lowest I had got was like 184. Then it went up a little bit, but by the time I ended, I was at 186. So I think that was pretty good progress. Almost 18 pounds gone. I feel better. I feel a lot better. As you can see, I do have a drink today. Shout out to it. I got an old fashioned. But it was a great journey, man. I don't think I'm going to be doing it anytime soon. But I think the whole point of me doing it was to get back accustomed to, I learned in the military, I can't do two things. I can't not work out and eat bad, right? I'm going to still go back to eating Chick-fil-A and all these other food places. It's probably not good for me, but as long as I'm working out while I'm doing it, it kind of balances itself out. But one thing I learned is I can't eat bad and not work out without the body just going terribly sideways. So 30 days working out every day for 1 hour, 30 days, now I'm moving to maybe like 5 days a week, possibly even like 6 or 7, depending if I want to bike or stuff like that. But I can only do low impact because of my injuries and stuff like that. So I mean, I do a lot of biking. But yeah, man, it was tough, man. It was tough. Obviously, I can't run. I can't do anything crazy like that, but man, on a bicycle, walking, I did a lot of walking every single day. I wish I could run, but those days are gone. And that walking is crazy work, man. Just putting one foot in front of the other. Don't matter how far you walk, it just matter you just getting out there and doing it. So I would say the 30-day challenge. Do I think it's worth it? I would have to say 100% is worth it, right? That's a good old fashioned. But yeah, it was definitely worth it. So anybody that's looking for that challenge, feel free to comment below on this video, and I'll definitely give you some tips, some stuff that I ate. I ate a lot of chicken breast. I ate a lot of fish. Yeah, that's basically it, man. It was definitely worth it. The next thing that we're going to get into is we're going to talk about exploring passions, right? And when we explore passions, I'm going to talk about some of the passions that I have, right? One of the biggest passions that I find myself doing is just about everything. If I have a desire to do it, I'm going to do it. When I tell you I do stuff, I do stuff. I don't know if it's the ADHD that I got or if it is just me just being curious all the time. But I've never been a person that wondered and wanted to do something and not did it, because I don't want to look back and be like, damn, I wish I had did that. Damn, I wish I could have done that. I wish I had done this. I wish I had did that. I ain't with that. I'd rather just go ahead and do it and then go from there. I'm definitely a person that does not like to look back and be like, hey, I wish I had done it. So just some of the different passions that I've had. So when I got out the military, man, I was like, yo, I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna relax for the rest of my life, right? So I ended up starting the NBA 2K league. So anybody that know me know that I love NBA 2K. So I had started playing and I was like, man, I want to start my own league, right? So I ended up starting my own league in NBA 2K, which basically was I would take my players that you have and then I would basically make them and offline, and then I would create this whole league, and then I charge people $20 to do it, right? And then it ended up blowing up from there. But I ended up starting a rec. I ended up taking down people's emails. I ended up creating a website. I ended up actually going and getting a sponsor, and then I had somebody that actually helped with me, a guy by the name of Lito. Shout out to Lito. And we ended up running a very, very successful league for a season. We didn't end up doing 2 seasons just because we had a lot of moving parts, but man, the success that we had with it, the people we got to meet, it was just something that I always wanted to do. And to me, we structured it just like the military, where hey, look, you got a team captain. You only person we need to be communicating with is the team captain. It's not saying that we anybody special, but we can't be talking to 12 different players on 12 different teams. So we thought that was pretty cool. We had a roster. We had the like I said, on the website, you had your roster, you had your your teams, your brackets, everything. So it was a pretty cool experience. After I got out the military, I also did like a clothing line where I actually set up one, and it's still up and running. I just haven't done as much work into it as I wanted to, but if I ever get the desire to do it, then I just go, it's already set up, called H's Express. And the reason why I ended up creating that is I always want to just see a shoe, see a colorway, and I don't want all the graffiti on it or something. That's why I like this kind of Kill Crew, because it's just simple, just Kill Crew, right? On the edge of it, it got killing inner demons through rigorous training is etched on there. But I like simple stuff. I like the simple things in life. So I think when I started my clothing line, it just got an H on it, and I was more or less just happy to be able to see something that was mine, that I created, that I etched, that I sold, and that I embroidered on. So that was another passion that I had. But the biggest passion that I wanted to talk about today was my writing, right? So we're sitting at the Pentagon before I got out the military, and I don't know what happened, man. My Marines had all went out for the weekend, and after they ended up going out for the weekend, came back Monday morning. I had been watching TV shows with the wifey fam all weekend, and I was like, man, it was just terrible TV shows that I watched, bro. The writing was terrible. Everything was terrible about it. And some of my Marines that came back, they're like, yo, Staff Sergeant, man, you'll never believe some of the stuff that happened out here, man. I was doing this at the club and blah, 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 blah. And then I ended up going from here to here and then here to here. I was like, what the hell? I say, all that happened? And Marines, we had some fun. We had a lot of good fun out there. And I don't know, when I was sitting there, I didn't have nothing to do at my desk at the time. And I just told myself I could write better than half of the people out there that wrote those TV shows, bro. If that was TV, I can write it. So I got a pad and then I just started putting pen to paper. I just started writing. And I ended up writing my TV show that I currently have now. With this TV show, just got my copyright done about a year and a half ago. With that, now I can push it out. It's been sent out to a couple of places, and I'm looking to ultimately just see the vision, be able to see something that I wrote on an actual TV show or actually on a TV screen. Not looking to sell it. I'm looking more to come on executive producer. But with this, man, I'm talking, I got about 40 something characters, and I thought it was all pretty cool, man. I kind of used my story and then it branched out. The name is still up in the air a little bit, but even then, it's the main character plot is about a guy that gets out the military after having a back surgery, and he got out very messy. And a couple of his buddies ended up getting taken down in combat. He ended up getting out, and then he has to go back to his hometown where he meets up with his brother and his homeboy. And he's fighting with the 7 deadly sins. So he's dealing with, drugs, sex, money, dirty politicians, and he's conflicted battling all these different things because he knows right from wrong. He knows what the military taught him. He knows what he needs to do in life in order to stay on a straight and narrow. But, his brother, top chef at one of the biggest restaurants in town. Then he got a homeboy that is just kind of like a true hustler. He got a daughter, and he do anything for his daughter. He don't care about nothing else in this world. Like if you can tell him, hey, take this brick up the street, and he'll do it. He'll do it as long as it's going to put food on the table for his daughter. And all three of them have to come together, and they end up running a bar or lounge. And in the mix of that, they're dealing with cops. They're dealing with drug dealers. They're dealing with politicians. They're dealing with locals. One of them has a daughter that's going through high school, and she is actually dealing with a lot of stuff, the high school drama, trying to fit in. By the way, her mom had her when she was in high school by one of the main characters. So, the mom is kind of like overprotective about everything because she don't want her daughter to fall into the same shoes as her. And then, you got so many different things going on in the story, man. I'm telling you, it is an amazing plot, and I'm just ready to kind of like see it on the table, do the table reading, and I'm just ready to kickstart it. So my whole point of that is I didn't go through some special school for writing. I've been through a lot of writing courses with the military. I did do some policy writing, in which that policy writing ended up going worldwide because I would write a policy and then it would get pushed out to Marines all around the world or military members all around the world. So, I guess I could say I did go do some type of writing, but the coolest part about this process was the fact that I started off writing about a couple of characters, and I have this chart that I use, and with this chart, I would basically just pick all the different characters. And one of my buddies, I let him read one of my pilot episodes, and he was like, man, a lot of your characters in the first episode sound alike. They all sound like they do the same thing. They all sound military-like. And that's a good thing because the first episode is dedicated to the military, dedicated to the time that I put in. I definitely want to get a lot of military members that want to get into the film business, and I want to give them a chance to act out some of those first people that are in the first episode, because after the military, the first episode is about a military scenery. It shows how the main character, which is Madison Mitchell, gets out the military, and in order for that to happen, he has to be obviously in a military environment. So a military base, military people, colonels, lance corporals, PFCs, other branches. We got the Navy, we got the Army in there. But the whole point being, I wanted to go ahead and give back to the military on that first episode. So any service members that want to be able to get into acting or different things like that, they'll have that opportunity, once that pilot episode kick off. And then from there, he converts back to society or the civilian world, and then it becomes the big crime drama show that it will be. But the coolest thing about this whole process was building these characters, man. I learned so much about TV show writing, like what's called a TV Bible, right? TV Bible is basically a manuscript that you should be able to take and hand to any producer or any actor, and they should be able to go directly to that character and be able to say, okay, I'm going to read about this character and I'm going to make them my own. But when they make them their own, they should be able to know exactly what this character is doing. So they should be able to look at the main character and say, hey, Madison is a laid back dude that wears nice suits, or he's real laid backish, or he's very outgoing. He talks with a hisp in his voice. He tends to gravitate towards, heavy set women or medium set women or smaller set women. I mean, everything about this character, you want to make sure you put all of those details. So I thought over time it was so cool because I was creating all these different characters, and you got somebody that might be a little bit 100% professional. Then you got somebody that's 100% ratchet. Then you got another person that's just low down and dirty and diabolical. You get to create some of the biggest villains that you ever saw in your life. Just some people that just don't care about nobody else. Then you got somebody that's the biggest carer in the world. So, I mean, for me, that's been the funnest part, is creating all these different characters and all these different personalities, and then letting somebody go and read them and be like, yo, I love it. Because, we can all vouch and say that when we watch these TV shows, we don't just fall in love with the main characters. Some people fall in love with a TV show because of some of the other characters. Like, one of the biggest movies out right now is Sinners. And I mean, we love the two main characters, but I mean, most of the memes I've been seeing is about Cornbread, which is one of the security people that ended up getting bit. And he has a great scene in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it if anybody hasn't watched it, but he has a great scene in the movie, and everybody talks about that scene and how he does this, right? And to me, that just shows you the importance of making sure that you don't forget about the other characters that are in your story. So I would say ultimately always follow your passions, always follow what you're going after, because at the end of the day, you don't want to look back on life and have any type of regret. You don't want to look back on life and have any type of animosity saying that, man, I wish I had did this, or I thought I could do this, because you might be that next great writer. You might be that next great storyteller. You might be that next great singer or rapper or, a runner or a politician. Whatever it is that you're going for, just go for it, and, dreams and admirations and just being able to push for things that you want. Don't ever put yourself in a box. I had one of my buddies tell me, Paris, it's like you be all over the place, bro. Some days you be doing this, some days you be doing that. I said, yeah, but one thing about your boy P is I'm never going to forget what I'm doing. I'm never going to forget, like, you ask me now, yeah, I'm a full-time college student. Yeah. I work for, a government agency. Yeah. I do gaming. Yes, I'm writing a TV show. Yes, I'm doing podcasting. Yes, I'm doing TikTok, climbing a TikTok ram. If you ain't checked it out, make sure you go check out my TikTok, H's World. But with all of that being said, yes, I got a clothing line. I mean, my thing is, you choose what you want to do with your time. You choose what you want to do with your energy. Sometimes that's why nobody could ever say, hey, Paris is pushing out bad energy, or Paris is doing this. Man, I have so much stuff on my plate that I love doing. And because I love doing it, it doesn't even feel like that it is a task in itself. It's like, hey, man, it's like you about to go write your story a little bit more, man, that's cool. Or, hey, man, you about to go game a little bit, man, that's cool, Or you going to work. I love doing my job. I like doing the security world, So I think that's what the coolest part of this whole process is. And for all my people out there that got ADHD, when you're younger, just know when you get older, it turns into a superpower, bro. It turns into a superpower, man. You just got to learn how to manage it, learn how to tweak it a little bit. And before you know it, you'll see it for what it is, which is a true superpower that you can use in order to multitask to many things. So, all right. So as we continue this, I can't tell y'all about my TV show without giving y'all my top 5 TV shows. And this is in no particular order, right? No particular order. And if you haven't seen some of these shows, I'm going to challenge you to go and watch them, because these shows they help me to write the way that I wrote. So when I started writing, I ended up going and reading manuscripts. Like, you believe it or not, it's actually easy to reach out. Like, I've talked to quite a few writers for some major TV shows, and they gave me a lot of pointers. Shout out to Marketing Smith. Shout out to Shane off of Power. He's the guy that plays Sax His real name is Shane. But he plays Sex on Power. I spoke with him and Marketing Smith. Marketing Smith, if you don't know who that is, he wrote the TV show Godfathers of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker. And he actually gave me some cool words over Instagram when we talked. And he was just telling me how it took him almost like 17 years to get his TV show sold. He's like, hopefully it don't be that long for you. But he's like, when you got a vision, and don't let somebody come in and change it, because it's a lot of people that wanted to buy his TV show along the way, but they wanted to change too much of the Bumpy Johnson story. And he's like, if you really believe in your story, somebody's going to come along and believe in it just like you. And I was like, yeah, that's dope. That's some good advice. But to go with it, my top 5. So starting off, I got to hit you with the Power, man. Power. And I know I'm starting a little bit recent. All the Power. I'm just going to put Power series in general. So we talking Raising Kanan. We're going to put Raising Kanan, the original Power, Ghost 2, all of them together in one. That was just a powerful thing to see 50 Cent and Courtney Kemp come together and just create magic, bro. Create magic in its own universe. Man, that's one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm not going to cap, man. Second show that started me out have to be Sons of Anarchy, bro. Sons of Anarchy is one of my favorite shows of all time. Jax Teller on there, man. That dude made me fall in love with the motorcycle gang, bro. That show is just so good, man. It's just so much that's going on in that show that is just amazing. One of my top shows of all time. So we got Power, Sons of Anarchy. The next one we got is Supernatural. Supernatural, man. That thing had like 15, 16 seasons. Sam and Dean Winchester. And no cap, like that's one of my favorite shows. Like, they got so much that goes into it, bro. Every season is just a elevation of the next season to the next season to the next season. You never get tired. Like, I think between Sons of Anarchy and Supernatural, your boy cried at I shedded a tear at the end of Supernatural, and I shedded a tear at the end of Sons of Anarchy. No ifs, ands, or buts. Hands down. Another one that's my fourth would have to be Snowfall, bro. Snowfall was a big influencer for me just because it was more recent. It was relatable because of my family and just growing up and seeing so much crazy stuff in my life. I mean, it was cool to see the characters evolve, come from just some dudes playing on the corner to this big kingpin and then lose it all. I mean, I did not see that ending coming from a mile away. So yeah, I would say Snowfall is definitely in my top 5. And then let's see, my 5th one, I gotta take a sip on this, man. I'm trying to think. My 5th one and final one, I'm gonna have to take it all the way back, man. I'm gonna do an honorable mention though. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was my first sitcom that I watched when I was growing up, and I have all of these on DVD, Blu-ray. And because of that, I'm like, man, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it showed me so much about life. It showed me so much about just how to move a certain way. Will Smith is one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite producers. The man just does amazing things, bro. And I mean, never hate on this dude. The dude ain't, every movie he make is just greatness. You know what I mean? So he showed me so much when it came to writing based off of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and a lot of the movies he produced. But yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And my honorable mention is only one honorable mention I gotta mention, which is, it was a show I used to watch growing up called One Tree Hill, man. That show right there, that put me in the zone to watch TV shows. I ain't gonna cap. One Tree Hill. Oh, and it's another one. We got another honorable mention. But One Tree Hill had me glued to the TV. It was about two dudes that ended up becoming brothers. And when they became brothers, they were they didn't know they were brothers. They found out that the dad had cheated, but then found out they were stepbrothers, and then they were fighting with each other. One of them came to the other school. It was predominantly white, which was cool, but it made me suck in and watch it, man. It was about basketball, but then they had the love life going, then they had the drama going, then they got high school going, then they got parent drama going. I mean, it was just the definition of a drama show. And I mean, when I tell you that show was the GOAT for me growing up, that show was the GOAT. And the last honorable mention that I gotta do is gotta be Smallville, man. Smallville growing up, between One Tree Hill and Smallville, man, Clark Kent playing that part, man, it was fire, bro. Fire. I mean, that was another TV drama where it incorporated like superpowers, and it wasn't always just so dramatic. You know, Superman is always like power, 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 but it showed him growing as a young man all the way up into this, you know, courageous person that he becomes, which is, we all know in the world, as Superman. But it showed him as a kid, it showed him falling in love, it showed him, you know, trying to play sports, but he was too strong. It showed him how he fit in, but he didn't fit in. No matter how much power you got, you still not gonna always fit in with every crowd. So I always was thankful for those 6 TV shows, man. I'll never forget them: Power, Supernatural, Sons of Anarchy, Snowfall, and then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, with honorable mention being Smallville and One Tree Hill. So yeah, man, I mean, ultimately that's what it boils down to. So all right, so the last thing we're going to talk about today, man, we're going to talk about hairstyles, man. So I had to hit this one up, man. Shout out to my hairstylist, man. If y'all noticed me over the years, y'all noticed that your boy has had some outrageous hairstyles, man. Not really outrageous, but it's been switching up. It's been switching up. So it was crazy. So I'm going to start all the way back. I always had short hair. And then when I joined the military, I was forced to have short hair, because in the Marine Corps, unlike other branches, you have to have a fade gradually increasing from 0 to no higher than, I think it's like 4 or 5 inches on top. So an ID card. So I ain't got no wallet or nothing here, but I think it's like 3 inches, 4 inches on top, which I ain't never gonna have no 4 inches hair on my head when I was in the military. And then when I was on recruiting duty, I would tell people, like, they'd be like, man, sir, I don't want to cut my hair. I'm like, man, if you don't cut that stuff off and come be successful so you can get this money, you know. But once I got out, man, I was like, I just want to grow my hair out, man. And I think when I first started, the wifey, she did not like it. She liked me clean cut. And right now I still struggle with the beard life, you know, but it's coming in. It's coming in a little slowly but surely. You know, I just got to let it grow. It take time. You know, I'm going through the patchy area right now, or barely growing, however you want to look at it. But it's coming along. But I was struggling for a while there when I started growing my hair out, especially getting into the governmental jobs, because I don't know what it was. I had curly hair on top of my hair. So whenever I undo my hair, I got curly hair. Usually leave it all curled up. But the thing is, I always thought it looked unprofessional. I don't know why I thought that, man. And I didn't even think I would ever share that with somebody. But I said, you know what? Doing my podcast, we throwing out some insecurities, let's throw them all out there. So I don't know what it made me feel like that, having hair as a black man, I don't know, just made me feel unprofessional. I felt like that it just didn't look professional in a professional environment. But I think that was something that I had to overcome, and I had to get figured out, because I was like, bro, I mean, that's natural, bro. That's natural for you to have hair. It's natural for people to have hair. I mean, what makes you any different from somebody else, you know? So yeah, it was cool, man. But since then, man, I've been growing it out. Everybody asks me, am I getting dreads? I don't think I want dreads. That's why you see me, you know, get the twist up, and then I take them down and I let my hair sit out, let it air, let it breathe, all that good stuff. And then I get it twisted up again. Shout out to all my people that got dreads, but I don't know. I don't think I want dreads. I just like being able to take it, twist it up, you know, throw some Jalen Brunson twist in it, throw some rope twist in it. And then a lot of the time I just like throwing my hair like this, just because, bro, waking up in the morning and having to deal with hair, bro, it is not for the weak-minded, bro. You got to get up, put conditioner in that joint, put product in there. Your product don't work all the time. You know, my hair go outside, hit the air, it frizz up, it shrink. I'm like, bro, this is not it. Then it dry out. I want it to stay curly, it don't stay curly. I mean, it's just a whole mess at times. So I tell myself, man, I gotta get right. So that was one of my biggest things. And I felt like that as men in this world, you should be able to express yourself the way that you want to. You know, don't worry about the way that you hair looks. Make sure it looks professional. But, I mean, don't feel like because you have long hair or hair on your head that it's going to make you look any more unprofessional. Because my people showed me that everywhere I went, you know, people judge me so far off of my work ethic as opposed to the way I'm looking. You know, even though I'm looking professional all the time, it was just one of them little pet peeves I had to get out of my head, you know. And that brings us to my final point today, which is stop letting stuff hold you back from doing what you want to do. Okay. Something as simple as what I'm describing, me having it in my head that me having hair on my head is gonna make me look unprofessional, or this and this, and when really me being a well spoken person and being able to go and speak intelligently to whatever the conversation is one of the most powerful things that we should be able to do. I should be judged off of that and not the way that I look or the way that my hair is, which now that I'm seeing, the way I carry myself, the way that I function, that's how most of it is done. People, hey, Paris, we want to know what you think about this security analysis or this security measure. We need your advice on this, security advisement plan coming up. Whatever it is, I'm judged on the words that come out of my mouth as opposed to the hair that's on my head. So if you are a person that struggles with some insecurities or some doubt, or you feel like something is holding you back from doing something that you want to do, don't let it hold you back. Push for what you want. Remember, at the end of the day, we only get one life to live. So you don't want to look back and be like, man, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that. You want to be able to say, I did this, I did that, and I have no regrets in life. And yeah, that's what it is. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate y'all taking a second to hear me out. On the next episode, we will have our first guest. So shout out to the first guest coming soon. Cheers. Have a great night. And I'm out.